Greetings, everyone. I'm What Hamster, and I have Kaboom Dragoon with me, and I still have Toto.
Yo.
I think he's calmed down a little bit more.
One would hope, at least. Don't like being upstaged by dogs. It's not cool, bro. Not cool.
Well, he is a pug. How can you not want to squish that face some more?
I've got cats. I'm much more into ear biting.
Well, dogs do that too.
It's not as much
They
fun
also
with
bite
it.
your nose.
No, I mean, I like biting my cat's ears.
Oh.
Everyone does it. Every cat owner has tried to nibble their cat's ears at one point or another. Anyone who says no is lying.
Well,
Cat ears
I'd like
are
to say no, just because I haven't really owned cats before, but I've visited people who've owned cats.
It's not the same. If you try and nibble someone else's cat's ears, you're liable to wake up with a face full of sharp, pointy paws.
Well, see, that's not a problem because I don't sleep near them.
No, they'll find a way.
Oh, they will. So they're like ninja cats sneaking into your homes.
I have a cat that can open doors.
Thinks this is a person.
That's all I need to say. My cat can open doors.
Well, they can't pick
He
locks.
has no thumbs. He can open doors.
Well, it can't pick locks.
No, the door's not locked. It's my bedroom.
No.
I'm not
See,
locking the
that's
bedroom
how
door.
they can't get
Silly.
into a house, because they can't pick locks.
I can try.
They can try, but I don't think they can. And yeah, for those interested, I'm kind of in the secret area in the desert right now. So I'm just kind of looking around. There's a lot of gathering spots here, but
Anyone's interested at this point.
there's there's a lot of gathering spots here, and supposedly you can get some really good stuff from them, but I'm not really going to gather. So we're just going to do jump cut to where Monopolis usually is. And
You know what you need? More star wipes.
more star wipes.
Yeah,
What's that?
like the transition.
Oh.
Rather than, just like, bing! It needs to be like a big star. Never mind.
Well, basically what I'm doing is, I'm just taking the natural transition to the map, the load screen map, and using that. So it has nothing to do with, so yeah, it is jump cuts, but, whenever I go through, basically that's about how fast the game loads in the next map area.
Okay, you need to watch The Simpsons more often.
I have not seen The Simpsons in years. Years and years and years.
You should probably fix that.
I should, but I live in Denmark where we don't, unless I'm paying for cable, I don't get The Simpsons.
Mm.
And then I have to pay out of the ass and, have to watch at specific times because we don't have any things where you can record it. We don't have fancy things where you could like rewatch the previous episode over like a digital.
TiVo.
Well, TiVo's something you could buy,
Yeah.
but I don't think they sell it here in Denmark.
And it's funny, the States has had it for, like, what, a decade?
Yeah.
And some of the TV companies over here in the UK have just started rolling it out, and they're making it out like it's a big revolutionary deal.
Well, it's
No.
the UK.
I mean, the same thing happened with the QR codes. Japan's had them for like 15 odd years, and everyone's already sick of them after about 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a watch on demand, like a lot of places or a lot of channels have in the US, I would probably watch these things, but I don't. We don't. So, yeah.
Take it, stuff like Netflix isn't too big over there.
I could set up Netflix. I could set it up really easily. But
Most of the people I know who don't have TVs like myself, they pretty much rely on Netflix.
no, I could easily set up Netflix, but I'm just lazy. Plus, let's be honest here. It is the absolutely atrocious idea to be in, let's say, an MMO, and you're the healer, and you're in a dungeon. You're doing a boss, but you're busy watching The Simpsons, and everybody dies. Yeah, that doesn't work.
You know they have pause buttons, right? That is a thing that exists.
Yeah, but when you're but I'm just saying, like, if you're in like a dungeon or something, you're kind of busy, and then they want to do another thing and another thing and another thing and another thing, and then you don't get to watch anymore.
Yeah, now whenever I was playing MMOs, I found that I couldn't actually play them at all unless I had something on the background. When I was playing Final Fantasy XI, I marathoned like 5-6 seasons of House at the time.
No, I kind of do a similar thing, but only if I'm grinding solo. If it's something that requires my concentration, I will not watch anything.
For a long time, I couldn't play games unless I had something on in the background.
I mean, usually when I play games, I do have something on the background. It's just like static noise, but it also depends on what I'm playing. Like, if I'm playing something for the first time, I do not have this. Like, I'm playing Final Fantasy X-2, not X-2. No, God forbid X-2.
After playing Final Fantasy 12, I look at it with a newfound respect.
Well,
actually, no, not 12, 13. After playing 13, I looked at 12 with a newfound respect.
Well, the gameplay in X-2 is good, but everything else is complete shit.
It's a product of its time, you know. I mean, stuff like the Charlie's Angels movies were big when it came out, and that's essentially what it was trying to recapture.
It was trying to recapture fan service, nothing else.
Hey, shit sells.
I don't like fan service in my video games, good sir.
You probably wouldn't like Lollipop Chainsaw then. I mean, come on, the main character's a cheerleader.
I'd probably be face palming, but I mean, like, I enjoyed the action of X-2. I you know, like the combat system, everything like that. I really enjoyed that part. But then when it came to story time, you know, like furthering the nonsense plot of X-2, then I wish there was somewhere else.
I can see what you mean, but in those terms, it's still more forgivable than anything related to Final Fantasy VII, which is essentially a series of answers to questions no one asked.
Yeah, I'm still kind of wondering what I should play. I mean, what'll be my next Let's Play? I'll probably take a break from Let's Playing just to play some of the games I've missed out on, like Dragon's Dogma and so forth.
Yeah, I would highly recommend Dragon's Dogma because, as I said, it's essentially Shadow of the Colossus meets Monster Hunter meets Berserk.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, I'll probably play a lot of these games that I missed out on, because what I've been playing a lot of in between my MMO grinding and so forth is indie games, and they're small enough that, you know, I don't have to dedicate like a month to
videos.
everything. But yeah, but then I'm still kind of like, somebody suggested when I was playing the third birthday that I do play Crisis Core or whatever it was called.
Yeah, Crisis.
And I do agree, like, there's almost nobody doing PSP Let's Plays in the Something Awful forum, just because it's kind of a pain to set up. Yeah,
it's really tricky.
And
you also need the second generation PSP upwards, don't you? That's the one with the TV out?
Yeah, you need the second or the third generation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of a pain to set up, and you know, like, so I'm thinking, well, you know, PSP games, it doesn't look like Crisis Core would take very long from what I've seen.
It takes a hell of a long time if you're planning on 100%.
Yeah, but most of the 100%ing I can also cut out too, like.
Yeah.
I can show off interesting things, and then, like, if it's just like grind a million monies, then I'm like, yeah, I can do that off screen. So,
yeah, most of it is, well, a lot of the missions are essentially go find this guy and kill his ass.
But you know, I might take a look at Crisis Core at some point, but I also on the side kind of wanna do a PC Let's Play, of what is the game called? The Last Remnant. That was a pretty good game. I enjoyed it at least.
Last Remnant was one of those games I could never get into. Same with Infinite on Discovery.
I never heard about that one.
It came out around about the same time because, over the space of, I'm probably getting this completely wrong, but it seemed like over the space of like 6 to 8 months, there was Last Remnant, Infinite on Discovery, and Lost Odyssey all came out.
Ah.
And they were all trying to fill the, basically fill the niche of RPGs, which hadn't really, there weren't really many at that time. I think the biggest one at the time was, Eternal Sonata, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And that I couldn't get into simply because of the character designs.
Sounds more like a lot of those problems that people had with Final Fantasy IX. They couldn't get into the game because they thought it looked too goofy and stupid.
Yeah. No, it just looked like, it was a Tri-Ace game, so it was, that kind of Star Ocean, Valkyrie profile, sort of lots of things to do, but the game tells you absolutely none of it.
Yeah, where you basically need to find a guide for it, read the guide, and then start playing the game.
Yeah. There's lots of gameplay mechanics which aren't even hinted at,
Yeah.
let alone explained.
I did
mention.
I did feel a little bit of the same with Last Remnant, that there was a lot that was unclear, so you weren't too sure. But all in all, I do think it is a very good game, and I remember while I was playing it, I was like, holy shit, this game instantly opens up the world to me, like, after the tutorial. And I was just... And I spent more time doing side missions than anything else in the entire game. I was busy doing all kinds of weird things, and I was having fun.
I love it when that happens in games. You wind up massively overpowered for the storyline, but...
Well, here's the thing. Because the way the game kind of scales your levels, basically, characters have... There's no levels. There is battle rank. Battle rank is based on all of the characters' stats.
That's right. And if you wind up doing all the... Because it does that, if you wind up doing too many side missions, you wind up making the main game impossibly hard for yourself.
You actually make the main game harder and harder because you're getting more and more beefy. But it only... Monsters and rare spawns and stuff like that and bosses only scale up to a certain point. So you can actually eventually overpower them with the battle rank.
Yeah, just brute force them.
Yeah, you just have to get to the point where they stop scaling. But the interesting part is the final boss, the more side missions and stuff like that you do, the more powerful the final boss gets. Like, if you 100% the game, the final boss will be, like, super powered. He will have more moves than he would ever have, and he has more phases or something like that, so...
Yeah, there was another game that I remember playing that did something like that as well. Cannot for the life of me remember what, though.
I won't spoil the reason why, my hypothesis why the boss gets more powerful. Well, but I will vaguely say it's one of those things where if you give the big bad villain more time to prepare for you, he's probably going to get more powerful.
Ah, right.
You're out in the world doing all these weird, stupid things, and God knows how many days and weeks have passed with you doing this, traveling around the world.
Rescuing cats from trees and putting cats up other trees.
That's kind of like my hypothesis, because like a villain's not just gonna go, I'm just gonna waste all my time just kind of standing here twiddling my thumbs, waiting for the hero.
That is a pet hate of mine in games where the bad guy just basically waits for you to do all the hard work and then comes in, steals it and goes, "Ha, suckers."
Yeah.
It's way overused in games.
And I think another thing that I did like was that you can actually weaken the boss through doing some of these side quests. It's not even side quests, it's like optional things you can gather. And if you leave these things out and never pick them up, the boss will pick them up and he'll be like, I got a new move. Awesome.
Actually, Star Ocean 2 did something like that, where if you could accidentally make the end game ludicrously difficult for yourself by talking to one random bystander in a town.
Okay, how that?
You talk to one woman just standing out in the arse end of nowhere in a town. I think it's in the Colosseum, but I might be wrong. Okay. And congratulations, you've unknowingly unlocked the infinite mode of the final boss, who's hard enough as it is.
How does that even happen?
Because Tri-Ace love trolling people. Inadvertently, of course, but, you know, like I said, they put in tons of things that you have no hope of even guessing at.
I'm just thinking here, like, how does, talking to one random NPC and having a conversation with it just... No, you unlocked, you can't win.
Here's another example. You go through a tournament.
Okay.
You win a really crappy sword for second place. You can then take that sword and about 20 minutes later you can upgrade it to... You can't just upgrade it, you can upgrade it to the single best weapon in the game. You were never told this. Most people, they're...
Small things like that I don't mind, but the whole... Hey, talk to this lady, and then randomly you will make the game unwinnable because,
It's not unwinnable, it's just that you practically have to grind out to maximum level to even have a hope of grazing them.
If a game developer is supposed to do this, they would add some option, like, let's just say, oh, well, you do this quest for me, but, things might get harder later on, or something,
They might have altered it in the PSP remake of the game, I don't know. I only ever played the first one, and I played the PSP remake of the first game, and the PS1 original of the second game. Still own it, actually. But, yeah, they just... Wow. It is just such a monumentally stupid idea.
Yeah.
Put in. And I mean, it's not even like she is literally, in a cave at the end of the world. She's just minding her own business, mulling about in town somewhere.
What did she tell you?
Cannot remember off the top of my head because I
was just wondering what kind of conversation she has with you. Like, oh, welcome to this town. I am the best NPC of them all because I am NPC name. And then
I think you're having
generic talk.
Hi, do you think you're having a hard enough time with things? No? Well, let me tell you, buddy. What's that? Gonna completely forget about me for the next 70 hours? Oh, well, you're in for a treat.
And I have a dog here. He's still outstaging me.
Oh, I have a cat here.
Isn't his name Chester?
Nope, it's the towel.
Oh.
Yeah, he was sleeping on the beanbag on the other side of the room, and then he sort of ran up, bounced up on top of me, and was like, "It's really important that I fall asleep on you."
Well, he heard you talking and doing stuff, so then he had to go check it out.
He usually hears me talking to things all the time. Usually the screen when I'm playing a game, or Chester.
Well,
busy, killing things again.
It's very important to get the people's attention. It's like one of my friends, my Danish friends. His mom is a cat lady, let's be honest. His mother is a cat lady. And bam. Yeah, no, that one attack there is one thing you should always be careful of when you're fighting Monopolos and Diablos in high rank. They basically, in high rank, they just pop out of the ground faster. So if you have a slow weapon like this, you're screwed. You're most likely going to get hit every so often. And if they're enraged, they will one-shot you. For the most part. But anyway, I was saying, like, his mother is a cat lady. Nothing wrong with that. She just has a lot of cats. I think she's got, like, 14 cats.
That's more than my friend. She's only got 8.
Yeah.
At one point.
But the cats love to walk up on his keyboard. While he's in the middle of a game. So he will have a cat butt in his face with the cats trying to get his attention.
Yep.
And he'll be in the middle of the game, and we'll see him type something weird out, and then, like, if we're not thinking about it, we're like, what? Why did he type that out? And then like, then he'll die, and everybody will die because, like, you're playing, say, Left 4 Dead, and you're trying to save the one guy, but it keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and yeah, everybody dies. And then we find out, oh, he had a cat that was just bugging.
Actually, I've probably mentioned it before, but when I was playing Left 4 Dead when Tal was a kitten, he would jump up and he'd start swiping the zombies on screen.
Yeah, well, maybe he needs to co-star in lollipop chainsaw.
Anti-zombie cat.
Yeah. You know,
Calls him at the enemies and watches. He sort of sniffs them a bit and then wanders off board. Just like every cat.
well, here's the thing. I think it will fit well in that sort of a game, just because it is.
Oh,
ludicrous.
absolutely.
And then you'd have the anti-zombie killer cat, and it's just cute and adorable, and that's all it does.
Yeah, cat grenades. You pull out some catnip and cute little kitten wanders up, purrs a little bit, and then rips zombies to shreds.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, that's a great idea. Somebody make it happen in the video game.
They had the cat minigames in No More Heroes 1 and 2.
Huh.
So it would make perfect sense to have that.
Well, maybe as you play the game, you'll discover that they have cute kittens killing zombies.
I know pretty much nothing about the game except that one of my favourite singers is in it, so this is going to be interesting.
Well, I'll have to ask you next week when we do some commentary if you've seen some cute kittens kill zombies.
Well, there's a bit where the main character's talking to her decapitated boyfriend's head, and she's talking about her sensei. And he recognizes the word sensei, and she's like, "Oh, you speak Japanese!" And then, busts out a couple of sentences. He's like, "I recognize that one line, or that one word. I don't speak Japanese." He just goes, "Ah, you're you're like a little kitten, a cute little kitten that doesn't understand Japanese." What?
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Nope. That's why it's fantastic. There's another bit where a zombie shows up and threatens to rip your taint off.
Ew.
I didn't even think that was a thing. I didn't think that was possible, but yeah.
Wait,
there you go. Shows
it walks up to you, threatens to rip your taint off, and your character's a woman.
Actually, no. It crawls out from underneath some shutters, and as it's crawling towards you, threatens to rip your taint off.
Oh.
And your main character, yeah, she's an 18-year-old high school girl, and it's her first day. Oh, it's her birthday, I should say.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing a tasteless ripoff from Seized Crab, but no, I'm not going to.
Although it does have one of the best features I've seen in any game.
Okay.
If you pan the camera down,
Yeah.
you pan it down too far, you think, "All right, I'm going to look at her undies," and she pulls her skirt down.
That's great.
It's an anti-pair feature.
I think that's great. More games need that. Just because.
Yeah, because at one point it actually comes up with a sort of a tooltip on screen. Move the right stick to turn the camera. Don't be a perv and try and look at her panties.
And then you do it, and then.
Naturally, it says it, so you think, right, there's got to be something there. And then you do it, and she pulls her skirt down modestly. And I was like, that is friggin' genius!
Yeah, that is!
That's fantastic!
That's pretty great.
I mean, she's wearing shorts underneath her skirt anyway, so,
Yeah.
It's not like you could see anything. She's doing cartwheels and flips everywhere. But just the fact that they actually put that in, she pulls her skirt down a little bit.
It's a bait and switch thing.
Yeah, just the fact that they do that, I'm like, I'm sorry. Hats off.
Oh yeah,
that is fantastic.
And I actually got a lot of rewards, some pretty decent rewards, at least this time. I can't complain about them. Not that I'm ever going to use them. I don't think, at least. But that'll be the end of the video. Now that we've talked about video games and
everything, but once again, equilibrium is restored.
No, we talked a little bit about Monster Hunter, especially in the first video. I had a bit to say.
Yeah.
But we will see you next time.
Adios.